as aids to spiritual progress and detachment, and to develop purity of thought and sincerity in the practice of spiritual advancement.
The questions will be based on Gurudev's Sri Chitrabhanu's book, 12 Facets of Reality, the Jain Path to Freedom.
Feel free to play along and test your knowledge as well. Once again, we request that we maintain a level of silence as well as respect for all the participants, as well as cheer them on when necessary.
Our participants are Naomi, Sahil, Riya, Gada, Khushi, Haria, Shaili, Raya, Jain, Mehta, Aanya, Parekh, Kishal, Shah, Veeraj, and just the Vora. The coordinator of this act is Vinit, Doshi.
Jain, everybody. Welcome to our level 4 Mami Janma Kalyan event. Last year, my daughter Shivani did a play, right? She wrote and directed a play, which was a big hit with the kids. And this year, when Mehta asked me to do something with the youth, I felt like, how am I going to top this? I can't. So I said, what does an old man do, right? I said, how about we read a religious textbook and then we take a live test on it, right? So, of course, the kids were very excited about that. In honor of this, we have, next page. We've been studying this book by Chitrabhanu called 12 Facets of Reality, the Jain Path to Freedom. This book is a profound and beautiful illustration of the 12 Bhavnas of Jainism, Anupreksha they're called. And the role of Bhavnas in Jain Dharma is so important, right? Because it helps us identify the divinity within us. And these kids have been reading the book since January. I received the book back in 1980 something, and I read it a little bit back then. Then it's been sitting on the shelf, turning yellow for 40 years. And this is kind of a metaphor for our life, right? The dharma is in front of me, but there's so many other priorities, 100 years of other things that I want to do before I get to this. And events like this cause us to have a deadline, right? And so we've been disciplined about reading the books since every chapter by chapter since January. So I'm proud of these kids to balance everything else that they're doing. And the idea of a deadline is remarkable in itself. Deadline. There's a line somewhere in our future where our clock is going to run out. And so events like this help us make some urgency and space for running. So with that, next page, we have 3 teams here. The Jain Jaguars, Riya, Veeraj, and Khushi. We have our Nokar Ninjas, Sahil, Aanya, Shaili, and Raya. And the Siddha Squad, Neil, Jessica, and Kishal. Next page, we have a few basic rules. 36 questions, 3 for each of the 12 bhavnas. You have 30 seconds to answer. And we're going to start with which team? Nokar Ninjas was the winner of our dice roll. So they're going to start. And please, audience, give them your attention, please, okay? All right, so, Nokar Ninjas, which question would you like to start with? Question 1, okay. Can we turn off the light over here so that the audience and kids can read the questions, please? All right. Question 1 is about Anitya Bhavna, okay? Scorekeeper, we're going to have 30 seconds to record the answer, okay? Ready? All right. Anitya Bhavna is described by which of these thought reflections?
B.
B. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Sorry. All right. Which team is next? Jain Jaguars.
C.
C. That is correct. Why? Because the soul is permanent, right? Everything else is changing except for the soul, right? So C is your correct answer. All right, so that's for Jain Jaguars, 1 point. All right, now we go to Jain Jaguars. You guys are up next, right?
Yeah. Can we do question 4?
Question 4, ofBhavnas. ofBhavnas applies which of the following thought reflections?
D.
D, is that your final answer?
Yeah.
D is correct. 2 points for Jain Jaguars. All right, sit the squad. I think you guys are up. What question would you like? Okay, audience, please give us your attention. Number 7, Bhavnas. Bhavnas, which of these thought reflections? Audience, let's give it some thought ourselves.
They're asking you to read the options.
Yes. Which option would you?
Like the audience is asking if you can read out the
Oh,
multiple choice.
no, we don't have time for all that, right? So you will have to move closer if you need to. Okay, sorry. As long as you guys can read.
C.
C. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Let's see. C is correct. It's just one. Very good. All right, back to No Car Ninjas. Which one?
10.
Number 10, Chitrabhanu. Chitrabhanu is which of these following thought reflections? I have more than one identity. Oneness is an illusion. I am the self. I took birth alone. Or I must find love, friendship, trust, and security with others. Look at how much these kids have concentrated and learned over these few months from this book.
We are going to go with C.
I am the one self, I took birth alone. Is that correct? It is correct. Congratulations, all right? I am the one self, I took birth alone. I am complete, not dependent on anyone or anything. Excellent. All right, back to Jain Jaguars.
36.
36, oh boy. Okay, we're going to go for dharma bhavna. The word dharma comes from the Sanskrit term dhru, which means to defend or protect, to lift or sustain, to conquer or overcome, or to meditate.
We choose B.
B, to lift or sustain oneself out of inner temptations and remain in tune with inner self. That is correct. Okay. Who's next? This one is next. They were Jain Jaguars. They got the point. Okay, this one. Okay, we may not get through all of these. Okay, we have only 20 minutes for the whole thing. So keep going, keep going.
Question 2.
Question 2. Okay, we're bouncing all over the place. Okay, this is about a story, I believe. Which of the following is not true about Muni Upagupta and the dancer? Which one is not true? 3 of the choices are true. 1 is not true. Folks, you may have read some of these stories in your Jain Pathshala and Swadhyay. Please think about what is the answer.
This is A.
A. The dancer invited Upagupta to come with her, but he replied, now is not the time. You're saying that's not true? Is that right?
It's D.
D, you're saying that that one is not true. Upagupta loved the dancer for her beauty. That is correct. That is not true, right? Because he did not love her for her beauty. He loved her for her soul. Okay. It was red because it was not true. All right. Back to no ninjas.
13.
13. All right, guys. Think about the next question you would like to answer. Anyatra Sattva Bhavana. Anyatra Sattva Bhavana is which of these thought of reflections? Which one of these? The material world is the source and cause of suffering. I do not identify with any of the things that are not myself. My worldly life is inexhaustible. Or identify with the universal inseparable connection.
Is it B?
Is that your final answer? I do not identify with any of the things that are not my essential self. That is correct. Wow, you guys are on fire. You thought that I thought these questions would be too hard. All right, well, this is good. All right, Jaguars. Number 8. Samsabhavna. Okay. Which one of these is true in the story of the father and the son in the last days of Pompeii?
A.
In their greed, both father and son mistrusted each other and got buried in the volcano. That is correct. All right. These are all metaphors for the life that we live. Nehanti, how much time do we have? 5 minutes? Okay. We have 5 minutes? Okay. All right, guys, let's continue. Are you good?
Question 5.
Question 5. Okay. Asharan Bhavna. Which of the following is not true about Anant Muni and the king Bindusar? Which one is not true? Was Bindusar shocked to hear Anant's name means kingless? During Anant's illness, he refused medicines and took refuge in higher self. After hearing Mami Bhagwan, King Bindusar became his disciple. Or during his youth, Anant Muni was egotistical and proud of himself. Which one is not true?
It says C, not true.
No, C is true, sorry. King Bindusar became his disciple, Mami Bhagwan's disciple afterwards. Okay, so we're back to no Katrin. What do you guys think?
D.
D, during his youth? No, Anant Muni was definitely egotistical and proud of himself. Jaguars. A, sorry, no. Correct answer is B. During Anant's illness, he did take the medicine, but he also took refuge in the higher self, right? So this was a hard one. Okay, so we're still... All right, who's next? You guys again. No, I'm sorry. Everybody missed, right? So we're back to you. No card. Oh, sorry, no card. Please.
16.
16, 1, 6. Okay, Asuchi Bhavna. Asuchi Bhavna is which of these following thought reflections? Which one of these? Downward movement and decomposition. Asuchi means ascending and moving up. Is it ignorance and carelessness versus awareness and wakefulness? Is it dullness and sluggishness versus creativity, vitality, and energy? Or attachment and desire versus detachment and transcendence? What do you think? Asuchi. These kids have taken notes from the book to use during this, so it's internalizing, right? I'm so proud of you. Okay, guys, no answers from the audience, please. They might mislead you. A, downward movement and decomposition, that is correct. Excellent, okay. Who's next?
Can we do 34?
34, Bhavna. Excellent. Chitrabhanu uses the analogy of ripples and waves in the ocean to make this point. One should learn to swim well amongst the waves of dharma to avoid drowning in sorrow. One should leave the restlessness of the oceans to find an island of dharma. One should merge into the ocean of thoughts, seeking calmness of dharma within the ocean. Or one should surrender to the waves with acceptance that this is the nature of the ocean. It's not obvious, right? Okay. 2 more questions after this, okay? And then we wrap up.
Can we go with B?
B, one should leave the restlessness of the ocean waves to reach the island of Dharma. That is correct.
Good job.
All right. Okay, 2 more. Oh, sorry. Jaguars? Are you next? No, you just went. Right? Yeah. You go.
Okay.
One for each of you. All right. 21, okay, 21 guys, okay, ofBhavnas. In applying ofBhavnas to real life, which one of the following does not apply? I must shut out external stimulation and avoid interacting with others as much as possible. I must remain vigilant of thoughts and be discriminating in what I allow my mind to accept. I may observe inflow of negative energy but turn it away and refuse to identify with it. Or I sense negativity flowing into and around me, but I recognize the impurities are not me. Which one is not true?
A.
A is correct. A is not true. It's okay for us to interact with others, but not to become identified with it. Okay, and the last question that we have time for, is we can continue in Pathshala, right, for the rest of these. And okay, last question.